Guys, welcome back to another Wednesday. It's Move Strong again. I'm going to be taking you through your prehab, your main set, your accessories, and then your recovery work. All right, I'm just going to get straight into it. As per normal, it's an EMOM 6. So again, get your phone, grab a timer, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds rest. First movement is going to be alternating groiners. So just to warm up the hips for the squats as we go into them. So with this, hands will be in line with your feet, or your feet will be in line with your hands. Keep that shin nice and vertical. From here, your back knee is off the floor, and then from there, you're gonna jump your foot up so your hand is in line with your hand, okay? Try to make sure that knee doesn't touch the ground, so that knee stays up, that glute stays active. Alternating for 45 seconds, just trying to get those hips nice and loose, okay? Second minute, it's gonna be your squat press out. So if you have smaller plates, so maybe you do this maximum with a 5, or this is the lightest dumbbell we've got, so a 6. So whatever you've got that's quite light as you're going into your squat press out, feet underneath your hips. Here we're gonna belly tight, bum tight. As we push back, we're gonna push out that weight. So now we're getting that counterbalance to help me stay more upright and to get my upper back turning on, coming back in. So the goal here, guys, looking from the side, is as you pinch back, you're pressing out, trying to keep it in the mid back. Try to watch not shrugging up here. Hold those shoulders down, keep that belly braced. Coming back in for your squat press out. After those, you're gonna go back into your Kang squats. So your third minute, grab whatever you've got, broom, stick. If you've got a barbell, do them with a barbell. From here, guys, bar's gonna go back into that high bar position. So not low bar like we were last week. Hands in narrow, feet in that squatting stance. And then from here with the Kangs, we're gonna bend the knees, push back into that good morning. And then we're gonna drive the hips down into that bottom of the squat position. We're gonna push back into that good morning, and then we're gonna stand up and keep the belly button nice and tight. All right, so one more time. Push back, making sure we're not flexing and rounding. So keep that back nice and flat, then drive those hips down in between those feet, and then push back into that nice good morning. Standing up, get the hammies, hips, quads on, okay? That's your warm up, guys. Your main set. Hit the deadlifts and hit the hinging last week, so we're gonna make sure we counter that. We're gonna hit some squatting this week. So your first movement, again, like we did last week, you're gonna do that giant set. So you're gonna complete all 3 movements before your rest, then you're gonna get 2 to 3 minute rest as much as you need, okay? First movement is gonna be your tempo squats. So if you have a barbell, great. You can option to do a front squat, or you can pop it onto your back and do a back squat. If you've got, grab your 2 wheelie bins, you can set the bar up on those if you want, and that's kind of like a squat rack, so you can get underneath it, help you put a little bit more weight on. But if you are doing the back squat, from here you'll just need to clean it up onto your shoulders, pop that bar onto your back, and then you're good to go, okay? So things that we're focusing on, unlike when we get it from the rack, how we talk about driving through the bar, creating that tension in the upper back, then coming underneath it and standing up, just making sure those hands are in nice and narrow, okay? Upper back is set in place. And then your tempo is gonna be 5 seconds on the way down, 3 in the bottom of the squat, fast up as you can, and then pause and go again, okay? So from here, back is in nice and tight, hands are in nice and narrow, my upper back is on. I'm gonna lock my ribcage down, squeeze my bum, keep that tension on as I hinge back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, up. Go back to the top, and again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, up fast, okay? So again, you can come in and do that in the same in the front rack. If you don't have a barbell, the heaviest weights that you can get, so whether that's a dual dumbbell squat as you're going down, the same thing, or if you've got a ball, same thing, or a heavy backpack, same thing, hug, bear hug, and do the same thing. Kettlebell, if you've got a heavy kettlebell, hold that in the front rack, or if you've got 2 heavy kettlebells, dual front rack, and then your sweep for that back squat, okay? The main emphasis there, guys, is the tempo. So with limited weights, to still get that same strength element, we're gonna work on those negatives, okay? Get really strong on that negative phase, and then work on that explosiveness out of the squat. So you do your 5 tempo back squats, then you're gonna go into your alternating front rack step ups. So with this, guys, if you've got a box, you've got a chair, a ledge, or a bench, whatever you need, from here we're gonna go for a kettlebell, for instance, in the front rack position, so like a goblet squat position. And then we're going to go 10 per side, alternating on the legs, okay? So from here, I'm just going to make sure my feet are in the right position. I'm going to try to focus on not pushing off that back foot, putting all my weight into that front leg, driving up and locking out. Coming back down, alternating as I go, okay? You really want to make sure these guys on those step ups, that when we get to the top, we make sure that leg is fully locked, then bring that other foot, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be here, kind of quarter getting up, using that other leg to kind of stand up. We want to make sure that we get that good step up, lock, then bring your other foot on, okay? Again, that's with a kettlebell. If you've got 2 kettlebells, you can front rack it here. If you've got 2 dumbbells, front rack it here. If you've only got a barbell, put the barbell in the front or pop the barbell in the back and do your step ups just to get some weight into them, okay? After those, then you're going to go into a max unbroken set of jump lunges or jump squats. So it's sort of like the finisher off in these sets. What we're going to do from here for your jump lunges, one leg out in front, similar to the groiners, okay? So you've come down, bottom of the lunge, you're going to jump and switch as you get to the top. You're going to do as many of these as you can. Maximum I want you to do is 30 reps. So if you can get to 30 reps, sweet, that's 15 per side. Then rest 2 to 3 minutes, go back to the start, and you're going to have 4 sets of this, okay? If you're not comfortable with the lunge, jump squats are totally fine. All right, just making sure you're getting your depth, and when you get to the top, really focus on extending the knees and squeezing your bums, okay? If either of those 2 things are causing you issues, finish off with either lunges, regular lunges, or regular squats, and I want you to go 30 on the squats, 15 per side on the lunge, okay? The idea being here, guys, was just overloading the same muscle group, getting a bit of volume in, and then using that tempo work to kind of keep the strength. Once you've done that, you're going to go into your accessories. Your accessories are going to be a bent over row, 15 reps of the bent over row. Then you're going to go 15 reps of the push-up. So just doing the movements that we're missing today. So pulling and pressing, and then you're going to hit a little bit of midline work with the plank pull through. So just to go through those, again, ideally, if you've got a bar with the bent over rows, we're standing up, hands are just outside that clean grip or the deadlift position. We're going to go from here, good hinge, soften the knees, the bum goes back, we're just below the knee with the bar can drift away, but without me rounding. So I'm going to keep my shoulders set, and then I'm going to go 15 reps. I'm going to come to the top, elbows going to stay to the side, control on the way down, drive, hold, control on the way down. 15 of those. If you don't have that and you've only got dumbbells, or you've only got a kettlebell, if you've got a single kettlebell or a single dumbbell, if you only have a single, same thing, coming over, all right, and then hitting that row. In this place, you do obviously 15 and then 15. Same thing if you've got a kettlebell, if you've got a backpack, even if you've only got a ball, guys, you can hit the same thing, okay? So getting over, just getting that good retraction of the shoulder blades into the body, all right? Then you're gonna go into your push-up. So 15 of these, obviously a different standard depending on how good your push-ups are. Let's go through some of the scaled options to start with. So 15 on your knees. So coming down, we still wanna think about bum being on, belly being tight, hands screwed into the torso, hands screwed into the ground, shoulders into the torso, and then from here, keeping that pressure between that armpit and the rib, chest to ground, and back up. You've got your full push-up as we're coming down, keeping that good position. Those are obviously your 2 main options. Ideally, if you've got those push-ups, trying to do them unbroken, okay, and keeping that good position. If you can't do them unbroken, but you want to do them on your feet, do that, break them up into 5 sets of 5 or whatever you can, keeping a good position. If your push-ups are really good, challenge yourself with a tempo, okay? So whether that's holding a strict 5 seconds on the way down, a 2-second pause, and then fast on the way up.
Carlos, come here.
So what that would be like, guys, is trying to stick to a tempo. So from here it'd be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, up. 5, 4. So if you can manage to keep that tempo, if your push-ups are really, really good, otherwise just on the knees or regular plank push-up. And then the last one, guys, is going to be your plank pull through. So for a little bit of anti-rotational work with the core. So from here, after the push-ups, we're going to come into that plank. We're going to be holding that position. Feet can be slightly a little bit wider. And then we're going to alternate, hit that dumbbell from the other side with your alternating arm and pulling through. Okay? From here, pull across and through. You want to make sure, guys, that there's enough reach. So when you're in that plank, make sure there's enough here without you rotating to get there. Okay? So you're resisting that rotation and then pulling through, alternating. You're going to do 15 per side. It doesn't matter about the weight here, guys. So you can go light. If you've got, that's a 6 kilo dumbbell, whatever you've got, even if it's just an object for you to pull through, the main thing is you're getting off balance with taking that hand off and rotating, stabilizing through the trunk, and then pulling back around. Okay? Go get it, guys. Enjoy, have fun, shoot through videos. Recovery before we finish up. So again, like it normally is, either a nasal breathing. So last week I was trying to get you guys to go up to 5 minutes. Take your time. Take that time in the day to have your 5 minutes after your training. Get the breathing in, nasal breathing only. Supine, lying on your back or up against the wall, whatever you prefer. But just try to have 5 minutes to yourself after your training, okay? Option B, for those, for your static stretching, just to hit the hips, is gonna be pigeon pose. So one leg coming in front, underneath the torso, leg at 90 degrees. And then from here, guys, just trying to get comfortable in that position. If you need to stay upright, that's totally fine. If you can't get your leg to 90 degrees, that's totally fine. Have that foot a little bit more towards your hip, all right? But then just trying to hold that position. And then as you get into that stretch, trying to get those elbows down, chest down, holding for a minute, okay? And then other than that, guys, you would hit 1 minute either side, rolling out your quads, all right? So standard, as we know, get on there, take time to roll out the quads, spend a little bit of time on the inside of the leg or on the outside of the leg, top of the quads. So now go and enjoy it. Shoot through vids, have fun. Miss you guys. Enjoy this session and we'll see you next week.